Oh, hi. Um, Welcome to another installment of my vlog. Right, so I'm down in the basement doing the jacks. It's going to be a brief one. It's getting dark, but it's enough light for now. Turning the jacks. They're all going great. This one down the end here, we don't need to turn that anymore. That was pushing a big dome into the floor above. Little mistake we made. Lucky we caught it in time. These other ones are all good. So really this is kind of like a point where that wall restarts overhead. So there's a lot of force here. And you can kind of see just by how the heads of these jacks have been deforming. In particular this one here, you can see how that's really pushed up into the timber there. A lot of stress. It's even digging into the beam overhead. But that's okay. Wood's a little squishy. Big thing I did today was I worked today working from home. Oh man, you can tell I haven't been out for a long time. My personal grooming is atrocious. Digging a big hole for my sewerage connection, which is super old rusty pipe. So I think I'm going to have to trace that across to that pipe over there. Hang on. That pipe there. Yeah, so I'm going to have to trace it across the floor. Oh god. Like that. Digging a big hole. Yep. So sewerage connection. These will be next. I've got some friends that were going to do it, but a little wary of doing business with friends, especially people that kind of are friends of friends. Especially, I haven't seen their work, and the stuff I have seen, I don't know, it's not super great. I'm sure they're I'm sure they're cheap. I just don't want to end up with it being disappointed by someone that I otherwise respect, you know. So we'll see what goes there. I've got a licensed electrician going to quote me on that stuff. The other guys quoted me 1,100. So if the licensed Sparky is 1,500 and he can take care of all the permits and everything, and it's all done legit and above board, that'll be fine. So then I'll have electricity here, and then I can run tools, can do all sorts of fun stuff, get the sewerage connected, get the water on. And once I've got water and electricity here, I can get the window guys out, can replace all the windows that need to be replaced, and then a bit of a cleanup, and I can potentially move in. I mean, all I need is something to sleep on, something to cook with, somewhere to go to the toilet, and we're away. And that'd be sick if I can actually live here, because then I'm just here all the time, and I'll just be doing a little bit of something every day, and we'll start to see some real progress. It's a bit tricky at the moment with it being remote. I've got to drive here and get all my stuff in my van. So I'm looking forward to being in here. And with the weather warming up, I don't have to worry about freezing to death, which is good because it gets real cold. But summer, lovely. So yeah, house is ticking along. It's been a while. I haven't really felt too motivated to do videos. I've just been concentrating on the day-to-day, bloody coronavirus and everything. Things changing all the time. Just sleeping badly, having strange dreams pretty much every single night. Strange dreams, not all bad strange. Some of them have been pretty cool and fun, but just weird vibes. It's just weird vibes in the world right now. It's hard to describe. You know what I mean, though. Yeah, greetings family. Pete, I like your new car that you got. That's going to be a little ripper. Mum, I hope you're healthy. Hope Liam's behaving himself. Liam, you be good. Love you, buddy. Hope you're enjoying your trains. And yeah, Mum, hope you're making some cool stuff and staying healthy. And yeah, Dad, hope you're keeping busy and enjoying settling into the new house. And hope you and Selena are enjoying each other's company. I'm very grateful to have Alex and feel pretty lucky in a lot of ways at the moment. One of the ways I don't feel so lucky at the moment is I've started losing my hair. It's like coming out at an alarming rate. It's coming out at such a vast kind of rate and in volume that, I mean, you can't really tell. I'll take off my beanie and show you, but hang on. So I've still got plenty of hair. It's actually at a kind of a good density right now. But if it keeps it up, I'm just going to have to buzz cut it because it's just thinning really fast. I'm kind of surprised how fast it can thin and me still have like plenty of hair on my head. It's not like, I don't know, it's weird. So I've been coming to terms with that. I mean, it's just hair. But, you know, you have this kind of avatar that you've built of yourself and it looks a certain way. And so, I don't know, it's like the quitting smoking thing. When I quit smoking, I was going through so many weird changes at the time. Or quit vaping, quit nicotine. So many weird changes. I'd like broken up with someone. That was an awful experience. The relationship was an awful experience. Especially the breakdown. Then, like, I was completely on my own. Had to, like, move all my stuff into storage, go back to Australia for a little while, clear the decks, come back. So it was during that process that I thought that I lost my vaporizer, and so I thought might as well throw another weird feeling on the giant heap of weird feelings and, you know, confront that one as well. And it worked out pretty good. I've been haven't touched a nicotine product since that fateful morning in Melbourne with my buddy Rob. Peace, Rob. So, yeah, there's a lot to be said for just embracing discomfort, I think. So, my point is that during this funky time that we're going through as a species and in our respective societies, maybe losing my hair and having a cool buzz cut for a little while be just what the doctor ordered. I'll see it that way, even if it's not true. You know, what are you going to do? So yeah, it's cool here. I like it. There's just so much to do. There's something kind of meditative about just the vast number of things that need to be done. Oh, it's a bit dark, but so around the corner from here, there's a house that burned down. Pretty fresh, a couple of weeks ago, I reckon. And it's a big old brick house, beautiful. And we salvaged like tons of bricks. So here I have 320 bricks. 80 times 4, yeah, 320. And with those bricks that I salvaged from the burned down house around the corner, I'm going to build brick columns to hold up this beam. A beam which I'm not sure if I'm going to replace it or not. It's some spots it's good, some spots it's shaky. For example, this stretch here, it's not so important that I replace that. It's not holding up too much, it's just holding up the floor above. So this whole bit is all good. So from like that back wall all through to here, it's pretty good. This here is relatively new. You can kind of see it's like 4 laminated 2x8s or whatever. So that's rock solid up to this point where they join. Then I think this is the old original one here, and looking a little sketchy. If you can see, it's like sagging or not. It's still fairly straight. Yeah, so I don't know. It's been sisted up on one side, which is where this board is kind of attached to this, the main beam. See, that's been sisted on there. So I think if I just do another board on the other side and then run a whole bunch of like nice big bolts through it, I think that'll shore it up. And then I'll build brick columns, probably between 6 and 8 feet apart. I think I'll have a number of them, and that'll give it plenty of support. And then I don't have to replace the beam. Replacing the beam is like next level. I have to like build temporary walls on both sides to hold all the joists up, and then lower the old beam down. Harrowing. I don't think my nervous system could handle that one. So, thinking better of it. Sewer, power thing. Oh yeah, the Democrat Party, completely useless in this country. They'd rather have a rapidly declining old man as their kind of figurehead than Bernie Sanders, who is sharp as a whip, morally just completely beyond reproach, insane grassroots support. But just goes to show, like, no matter how much of a following you have, the media and like the media machine, which is basically the propaganda wing of the Democrat Party. I mean, they both have it. Like CNN and MSNBC are just like the Fox equivalents of the Democrat Party. They're not left wing. Far from it. They're just a different flavour of like corporatist, basically oligarch bootlickers who suck up to power and worship money and generally suck at governing in a way that will result in the prosperity of regular people. Birth rates are declining. People can't afford to have kids. People can't afford the freaking health insurance. Health insurance, so it's, the light is just lovely in here at the moment. Where's that coming from? It's nice. These are summer evenings, just gorgeous. Anyway, Democrats fucking suck. Like, it's just done. Like, no. Two-party system's failed. I've heard and read some things that suggest that the United States is a failed state and that it's actually just been in decline for a while. And I'm starting to believe that. Politics has failed in this country. Money and power have pretty much rooted themselves so deeply into the very mechanisms of governance and democracy, and especially in the media. Combine that with just woefully degrading education outcomes, you've got a populace that's primed to just like be insanely afraid of going broke and have their values dictated to them. Oh, here it is. Yeah. It's horrific. I mean, I love this country. I really do. I love the United States. It's amazing. I was talking to my mate Andrew, and he made a really great point. He said, United States, people think it's similar to other places. It's just not. Like, he said, it's as different from Australia as Japan is from Australia. Like, you get tricked, and I totally agree. It's wild. Like, you're kind of tricked into this feeling of familiarity, this kind of uncanny valley, because we're brought up with all the same media and kind of cultural references and stuff. But then all of a sudden, just things seem like kind of upside down, like you've stepped through some kind of looking glass. Like, you can buy guns on the internet, and there's people who honestly believe Donald Trump has their best interests at heart, and you've got supposed parties that support the working class marching in lockstep with the right wing Republicans, and the same thing's happening all over the world, but there's just something super wacky about America. Just the density of people here, 300 million or whatever. It's just crazy. Like, it's a wonderful, wild landscape still. Let's just hope that, in a few generations, once it's kind of broken down and started to rebuild, that some hard lessons have been learned, and maybe there'll be a new age in this country. But I think all is kind of lost now. I don't see some pretty grim possibilities on the horizon, especially with this virus and the kind of noises that our dear leader is making regarding forcing people back. Like, I can just imagine a future where, you have to have a COVID test every few weeks, and then you can participate in the economy. And if you don't do that, then you can't participate in the economy, and you don't deserve nice things because, where's your productivity? What are you doing to contribute? Unless you're working for someone and making a wage so you can pay for your exorbitant healthcare. You don't want it enough. You're not hard enough working. So sorry, it's your fault. You've got a choice. There's choices there. You're free. You're free to choose between getting constantly tested and, being basically a wage slave, or living in poverty. This whole idea that you can be an entrepreneur here. There's people that do it, obviously, but I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird time. It's a weird place. Might leave you there on that happy note. Oh, actually, we'll go outside. I'll show you something. Let's find a happy note to leave on, shall we? Nice, isn't it? So, it's my backyard. It's these units there. They're owned by this Argentinian dude. So this plant here that kind of looks like bamboo, it's called Japanese wormwood or something, and it has these shoots which apparently are a delicacy. Kind of like funky asparagus. Had my mate Dean over. He's a tree cutter, and he pointed out some cool plants in my yard, so that's one of them. And this one here, this is a black walnut tree. Black walnut's they're this interesting kind of walnut, they're chocolatey. So this guy here, I'm going to leave you with this lovely view here. Nice. See ya.